Hello and welcome back. Our second tech talk today comes from Reveal Media. For over a decade, Reveal has designed and built award-winning, smart, efficient and secure body-worn video systems that transform the jobs of police officers, security personnel, key workers in healthcare, retail and the wider community. They say that their solutions empower your team with the world's leading body-worn camera ecosystem and captures the truth, protects staff and de-escalates tense situations. Reveal's overarching approach is to work closely with customers to ensure they have the best possible experience and can run successful body camera projects that benefit the staff and of course the people that they serve. We'll be watching a presentation now, and then after the presentation you have the opportunity to put your questions to Seb from Reveal Media. But first, let's watch the presentation.
For almost 10 years, Reveal has been designing award-winning cameras that our users love for their ease of use, security, flexibility, strength and design. When we started the design process for the new D-series camera, we had one single objective in mind. We set ourselves the task of making by far the best body camera in the world, not just by a small margin. We were determined to exceed anything out there by such an extent that choosing a D camera would be a no-brainer for any customer. Reveal has always designed and manufactured groundbreaking products, and our cameras and evidence management systems are in use by many more police forces in the UK than any other system. We have hundreds of customers all over the world, including the United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia and the Middle East. So coming up with a new product that was going to be even better than one that was already hugely successful was a big challenge, to say the least. In the D series, we've kept all the essential features that we've always had in Reveal cameras. Unbreakable security, the front-facing screen, which has a proven calming effect and maximises transparency, and the articulated camera head, which allows the camera to be worn by all shapes and sizes of users, or worn on a helmet, or in a vehicle, or as well as being an interview recorder. Reveal was the first manufacturer to introduce AES encryption in the camera, so security has been at the heart of our products for a long time, and the D series of course continues to use this. So besides being determined to improve our existing signature features in every way, the D camera introduces a few game-changing features as well. To give our customers choice of features and budgets, we've designed two cameras. The D5 with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, and the D3 without. The D5 has the ability to stream in real time from the camera through a Wi-Fi network or via a mobile device connected to a cellular network. High-quality video can now be seen live anywhere in the world, allowing real-time situational awareness and decision-making. We think this ability has the potential to completely transform certain incident handling and outcomes, giving our customers a totally new tool to enhance their effectiveness. Our goal has always been to give our customers the best possible tool to capture the context of events in a challenging circumstance. Both the D5 and the D3 have low-light capability that far exceeds any of the other cameras on the market. There's simply nothing that comes close. Our customers have asked us for longer and longer recording times, so we challenged ourselves to design a camera that was able to record high-definition video for over 12 hours without being any bigger. This required us to use the very latest camera technology and power management techniques, and we've worked closely with the chipset manufacturers to optimize the electronics and meet our goals. Reveal has always put design at the forefront of our product philosophy. We understand that users want to feel an affinity with what they wear and what equipment they use. Really good design takes time and meticulous attention to every detail. Not only is it supremely easy to use, it's a product that the user will be proud to wear. Good visual design is no good if the resulting product cannot stand up to the rigors of daily life. We've made hundreds of adjustments during the design process to increase the strength and durability of the D-series. As well as reinforcing the internal structure, we've added extra toughness by creating rubberized armor using a two-stage molding process. This not only provides extra hand grip, it greatly enhances the ability of the D camera to shrug off knocks and drops. As well as this, we've added a waterproof USB port and toughened screen protection, making the D series incredibly durable. To achieve the D series, we've worked with the best technology companies from around the world. We've put our heart and souls into what we think is by far the best body camera in the world today.
%10 of my day is based on dealing with and the nicer things, just general customer engagement, which could be asking questions, through to the not so pleasant things. It doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, it can be quite intense.
A few months ago, one of my security officers was dealing with a group of youths.
We had an incident where there was 40 kids who all come to meeting to fight.
One of the kids started just throwing things at him, calling him names.
In that situation, obviously, camera goes on. If I've got a camera on, people always calm down because they can see their face, they'll calm down.
With the front-facing screen especially, it lights up, you see yourself on it.
The difference it's made having the cameras now is they see themselves on the screen. It does kind of sort out the issue itself straight away because they know they are being recorded.
If he didn't have the body camera, the youth probably wouldn't have calmed down because obviously there was nothing to prompt him to calm down. It could have even escalated a bit more.
The camera in itself can cut the time where somebody's messing about.
I think you can get people out a lot quicker using the camera. It tends to get them resolved probably, I'd say, twice as fast as it normally would without.
It's a tool. It's like anything else we've got within security.
Our local police force use Reveal Media cameras, and that's kind of what prompted me to look into Reveal and see what they were offering at the time. We currently use around 12, and it's all the security officers that use the cameras.
I'm confident when I do flick go, it's not just recording grainy pictures where somebody can't understand what they look like or hear what I'm saying. It's a clear picture.
I've seen footage that has been recorded on a night shift, probably about 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You can hear exactly what it's saying, see who it is. You can still see quite clearly who it is they're talking to.
Rather than it being static, you may go to a situation where you've got a 6'6" male to speak to, and if the camera is just facing forward, you're probably going to get his chest. So the camera head, being able to adjust it is really good.
The Reveal cameras were quite good in the fact that they are fully encrypted. If something were to happen and a camera was lost, the encryption renders the camera useless. You basically couldn't get hold of any of the footage on the camera. And if you've been recorded, we need to make sure that that stays safe.
The function of it, the fact that it records 30 seconds before, it means I'm not just recording what's happened initially, I'm also recording what happened before.
As soon as someone knows they've been recorded, they'll stop what they've done, or they could accuse you of doing something, provoking them, but whereas if you have that 30-second loop prior to it, then you're sorted.
It's quite good to have DEMs there to manage all the videos, keep track of everything, audit anybody that views it or downloads it for the police or any insurance companies or anything like that. We can cloak footage only some or certain users can view it, if it's sensitive, if it's staff related, stuff like that.
On demos, you've got the snapshot buttons, which is quite useful for bringing images of known offenders or someone who's just committed an offence. You could just use the snapshot as image saved, and then you can just upload it to a file and put all their details on it.
Also, the fact that it automatically deletes any footage after a certain time, it prevents us from breaching our retention policies. We can mark it as evidential, which then increases the retention policy so that we've got it there for insurance purposes or for the police for any crime-related thing.
I definitely recommend body cameras to everyone. We used to have older cameras, but they didn't look as good, and a lot of people didn't really know they were cameras because they were chunky, they didn't have a screen. Whereas now on these ones, the person being recorded can actually see themselves.
We work in all conditions: rain, snow, wind, sun, the lot, and the cameras don't let us down, which is really what we look for within security.
Not only does it protect your staff, but it also does with the customers as well. It helps protect everybody, really, everybody that's involved in any situation.
Hospitals are places of high emotion. We have babies born here on a daily basis. People find that they've got quite serious illnesses.
People attend the emergency department for varying different reasons and can be in various states of emotion and stress. So there are occasions when patients can become aggressive and threaten violence, and unfortunately attempt to commit violence to staff.
I've had plenty of verbal aggression and plenty of threats of violence. People threaten to kill me or find out where I live and come and kill me.
We'd researched the issue of body cams quite extensively. Obviously the police and local authority colleagues are using body cams, so we've got quite a bit of experience.
We've had a few incidents from the emergency department where the security team have actually implemented the body-worn video, and that's been given to the police, and then the assailant apprehended from that.
We had an incident where we used the body-worn footage. It was quite an aggressive female who assaulted one of the security staff. The female had to be restrained on site until the police arrived and arrested the female, and that actually went to court. They used the body-worn video as evidence, and we got a result there. We got a conviction.
I feel definitely a lot more safer with it, because then nobody can make a complaint against you. They're saying, "Oh, he thumped me." When in fact, you've got the camera there saying, "I haven't touched him." So it does work both ways. Protects you and also protects them.
I think it makes us feel safer knowing that the cameras are around, because it modifies the person's behaviour. I think it's like to calm them down, and if not, at least you've got the confidence knowing that your side of the story is going to be told.
It's definitely made a difference to us in those specific areas. Overall, I think it's for the security team, it's another tool in their box to help with any issues of violence and aggression to patients or to staff and visitors.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoy the presentation. And I am now joined by Seb, who is the non-police sales team, part of the non-police sales team at Reveal Media. Welcome, Seb, to Tech Talk. How are you today?
Not too bad. Thank you very much, Keita.
That sounds good. Not too bad. You're ready? Ready for some questions?
Yeah, it depends how the questions are.
Well, we have already got a question, and just to remind you, if you've watched the presentation or even if you're just joining us now and while you're listening to Seb talk, and if you have something you'd like to put to him, you can write the questions in the chat box on the top right hand corner of the screen, and we'd love to get as many as possible while we have Seb live with us now. Seb, the first question that's come through is, how is video secured when it's uploaded or streamed?
Sure. So when you're uploading the video footage, it's encrypted in transit. So essentially, the whole journey that the video footage will take, it will remain encrypted. When it actually arrives in the storage location, the encryption will depend on how the customer wants the customer is hosting the video data essentially. So to go into it a little bit more detail, we offer a variety of different deployment methods. If the customer has chosen to host the video data themselves, it's up to whatever their encryption is or security around their servers, for example. If they ask us to host the video data in a cloud-based platform, we host that in Microsoft Azure. So we utilize Microsoft Azure's encryption on their cloud-hosted servers. With live streaming, our live streaming is secured via something called TLS 1.2, which is an end-to-end communication security platform.
Great, thank you. So the next question that's come through is, can you delete footage from the camera, and how easy is it to do that?
No, so you can't. So no footage can be deleted from the camera by the user. So if an officer's walking around, they can't just start pressing buttons and remove video footage. The actual camera is designed to be both physically and technically tamper-proof, so you can't crack it open and get hold of the memory, and neither can they press buttons to delete video footage. The only way video footage is actually deleted from the camera is when the camera is docked and uploaded, and at that point, video footage is then deleted.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that question. So another question that we have, and I have to say, I have to introduce your dog as well, Seb, who is wanting to be part of this tech talk, I can tell.
Yeah, that's one of the hazards of working from home, unfortunately.
We've all been there, we've all been there. We like to have animals as part of tech talk too. But the next question that I've got is, who is your main audience when it comes to the cameras? I guess it's your main clients, you know, where you're selling.
So, I mean, I think like any body-worn camera company, we are, our main revenue generator as a company is probably the police forces globally. So we're the sole supplier to 30 of the UK police forces, and then we work with police forces globally in Europe and Asia and North America. But probably in the last 5 years or so, there's been massive pickup from not only public sector as a whole, but private sector really picked these up. We've seen a big uptake in this, the cameras not only being used for personal security of officers, security guards, but it's now on shop workers, it's now on nurses, it's now on teachers. We're even seeing private companies use these for liability purposes. So if we had a big hotel chain come to us and say, we're getting customers making accusations against our staff, and essentially we just want to cut out the weeks and weeks of investigations and hearsay and just get to the point of saying, well, look, we've got the video camera footage, either yes, you're absolutely right and we apologize and here's compensation, or no, you're actually wrong because look, here's the video footage to prove it. So it just cuts through all the rubbish really. But the actual industry range for this type of equipment is so vast now.
Okay, really varied, isn't it then, in the way that people are using the cameras in terms of sectors. So going back to one of the previous questions about deleting footage, someone's now asking, can deleting footage only be managed by certain users?
Yeah, absolutely. So the DEMS 360 platform, which is our bespoke video management software, that is built around roles-based access approach. So you have user roles, and then depending on your role within the organization and your role within the body-worn camera solution, you're then given certain user permissions. Normally the deleting of footage is only for a select few of the absolute highest super users. Outside of that, the software works on something called retention policies, which will automatically delete video footage after a set amount of time for GDPR purposes. And all of that is designed to fit in with the customer's existing data protection policies.
Well, it's like you knew what the next question was, Seb, because the next person has asked, is it compliant with GDPR?
Yeah, so that is an absolute massive part of what we do. Obviously, you've got the public's video data, images, and you've got everything else in there. I think there goes my dog again. So you've got a lot of quite sensitive data which you're holding. So the solution is designed to be GDPR compliant, both with the retention policies, and we've got automated redaction built into it, so it will automatically blur faces and mute audio as well for you. Obviously the encryption levels adds towards data protection as well, because you can ensure that everything is secure at all points and it can't be accessed by a third party. Even when you're sharing video data as well, it's all audited to such an extent that you can prove from the point which a video has been created to the point where a video has been removed from the system or shared externally to a third party. You can prove that every step which has been taken in line with GDPR and is on the right side of the law, essentially.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hope that answered the question there. So the next one is, this is interesting, it's sort of connected to a pandemic related question. Can the cameras be used to check temperatures? They're thinking about COVID.
No, not at the moment. It's something actually that the company did look into, but it's also probably the path which we're going to go down. I think there's kind of specialist organisations which offer a better service than we ever would on that.
All right, great, thank you. Thank you for all these questions. And again, if you have any more questions, do send them through because we've got a little bit more time left with Seb. But the next one that I've got, Seb, is about the live streaming capacity of the camera. So this question asks, how does the camera live streaming work? And do you need to connect via phones?
So you've got choices really. So depending on what product you go for, we offer either a Wi-Fi camera or a Wi-Fi and LTE device. So the Wi-Fi only camera will need to be connected to a Wi-Fi network or a hotspot. A live stream is actually activated through the user just pressing a button on the body camera. We'll be releasing in the future remote activation of live streaming, so someone from a central command point can activate a live stream, but like I said, you can actually then do it over LTE as well. So if you've got a data SIM, put that into the SIM card, we won't restrict the network. In exactly the same way as the Wi-Fi camera, you press the connectivity button, it will then begin a live stream which is then viewable from a central command area.
Okay, great. And actually building on this, a question we've got here is live streaming encrypted? Is it a secure network that it's linked to?
Yes, yeah. So you can only feed in our live stream data feed into our DEMS 360 platform. It's all secured over TLS 1.2, which is about the highest level of security that you can get for a live feed at the moment.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so another question which I think you sort of touched upon a little bit, but to give us a bit more of an answer is, the question is, how long is footage stored for, and is it saved locally, cloud-based preference?
Yeah, so that's the customer's choice for both of them. So we offer a variety of different methods for the customer to actually store the video footage. We offer just storing it on a laptop, a computer, and it doesn't leave that device, server-based networks, or a cloud-based platform. That's completely up to the customer. We can be versatile with that. In regards to the retention policies and how long video data is stored for, again, that's completely up to the customer. Retention policies can be set anywhere from a couple of hours all the way up to 10,000 years if they want it to be. And they can create any number of those retention policies as they want. The whole system is designed to fit in with what the customer needs and not what we think the customer should do.
Okay, lovely. And this is a question that you did answer, but I'll just ask it again just to reconfirm. And it was, can body cam wearers enable disabled cameras themselves? And you were saying no, weren't you, earlier?
I suppose it depends what the question means, I guess. They can't tamper with anything on the actual camera, but the actual physical recording of The actual physical recording, yes, because that's done locally on the camera, and that's done by the sliding switch up and down. But they can't change anything on the camera, no, and they can't change any settings or anything like that.
Okay, lovely. Okay, on to the next question. So this question is, how do you know when the camera is low on battery and or memory?
Yes, so we work off both haptic feedback and visual prompts. So essentially when a camera is low on battery or low on memory, you'll get an audible noise. So it will make a noise when it gets below 5%. It'll also vibrate for you. Our cameras, as you would have seen in the video, we've got a nice feature with having a front-facing screen, which means that you can not only monitor the actual battery, kind of similar to a mobile phone. In the top corner, it will have a little charge sign. It will also have the memory on the bottom middle as well, but it also means that you can check in on your shift and you can see I've got 23% left, got 33% left. So you can constantly be checking in just to make sure that you've got enough memory and charge to last an entire shift.
Great, thank you. Thank you for all these questions. So we've just got a couple minutes left with Seb. And one thing that seemed to come up in the presentation, Seb, was this 30-second pre-record, which the sort of case studies that we heard from did say how it was very helpful. What's the advantage of that? And, why did you build that in?
So the pre-record buffer, there's a couple of advantages to it. I think, first of all, it gives the actual user of the camera, it gives them thinking time. In the heat of the moment, sometimes even the most experienced person doesn't remember to activate a body camera. So our pre-record, it actually now goes up to 60 seconds, which is configurable by the customer, but it just gives them that opportunity to think, okay, I've got a 60-second time period where I can actually activate that camera and then I can capture the event. But also secondary to that, again, even the most experienced person in the world sometimes can't see an event unfolding in front of them. And it just gives them that opportunity that if something gets physical or verbal, or they think it now requires a recording, it will then capture the entire build up to that event, which sometimes can be the most pivotal to an event. And it encourages professionalism from the actual user, because they're aware that anything that they're going to be saying to the actual subject who's being filmed, that's also going to be captured on that pre-record buffer as well. So it not only de-escalates incidents from a subject's point of view, but it encourages the user to be professional at all times.
Okay, great. Okay, so I've got not a lot of time left, but there is this question that's come through, and it's where can these cameras, where can't the cameras be used? So are there restrictions for sensitive areas and places?
So it would depend massively on the organisation using them. So for example, what you wouldn't be able to do is, sometimes, depending on what your actual role is and how your organisation works, you wouldn't be able to walk into a residence and just start recording, for example, without their express permission. There are workarounds to that. We have a client who they are like an engineering company. They go into residence and they request the residents to sign a waiver before every single appointment. And then that basically allows them to record as and when. But really, it depends usually on what your role is. So if you're working in a hospital, for example, and you're a security guard in a hospital, then yeah, absolutely, you can record within the hospital walls as and when is seen fit. But if you're just a general member of the public and you start recording in a hospital, then that's a bit of a grey area, and you probably shouldn't really be doing that. So it's all based around what your actually role is and how that fits in with using the body camera. Appreciate that's a bit of a vague answer, but it's essentially how it works.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Seb. And there have been so many questions. We are running out of time now, Seb. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you for being part of our tech talk this morning. And if you have a couple of questions, I know there are a few that we haven't been able to get to, because of time, you can put those questions to a representative from Reveal Media. Just go to their exhibitor booth and you can book in a slot and find out whatever you want to find out about the cameras. But thank you so much for being with us, Seb, this morning, and for your dog as well, who's chilling out now.
yeah, I'm glad they got to be a part of it as well.
Excellent. And we'll be back for our final tech talk for today, and that is at 11:30, and it will be with Thales. So hopefully we'll see you then. Goodbye.